YouTube podcast world. What's up, family? You already know the name, man. Pays and Plays podcast here. Going to give y'all week 10 of the NFL season. Last 2 weeks, baby. 4-2 total best bets. 4-2. Yes, yes, yes. Patriots lost in that crazy come from last minute touchdown, lost in overtime. Chargers and Cardinals clean blowouts for both of those games. So we'll take that. It should have been 3-0, but that's okay. Can't win them all. And listen, bro, we're last year we were 27-16. I believe already I'm 23-11-3 or 25-11-3 correction. So I'm one of those. I'll post it a little snapshot right over here. You'll see it. But we've been on a roll, man. So we're gonna continue to do it. This week alone, week 10, a little bit of a weird week, but I see some couple games right here I already took. So let's get right into it. We got Thursday night football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Baltimore. Ravens minus 6.5 point favorites. Give me the Ravens to win and cover. I know it's going to sound like a game that the Bengals can win, but I'm just not so in their offense. I'm just really not. Their defense on top of that, I mean, they can't stop the run worth nothing, bro. I could see this Ravens team feasting. I don't think it's going to be as close as it was last time when they had to go to overtime and they won that game. I expect Derrick Henry maybe 2 touchdowns on the ground. He had a good game against them that week. I almost expect the same thing this time. I know it's Thursday night football. Over under is 52.5. I would lean towards the under, but Baltimore's defense is horrific. So is Cincinnati to a degree. So you kind of, I'm just thinking of it because it's a divisional game. It'll be a little bit nastier. Next game, we got the New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers. This is over in Munich, Germany. Panthers 5.5 point underdogs. Give me the Giants to win and cover. Nasty game, yes. Daniel Jones, yes. Panthers, they got caught for they won the game, but this is what I think they stink it up just because they just won the game last week. Everyone's going to think they have a shot, but Brian Daboll is a better overall coach. Daniel Jones, I will take him over Bryce Young. And I expect a lot of Malik Neighbors, bro. Like, just give him the ball and let him eat because this team can look. They dropped 20-some points on Washington, and to some people, yeah, that's not impressive. But I mean, yet again, I mean, this Panthers defense, they've given up. So, with all this being said, I'll give me Giants to win and cover. Next game, make this official first best bet for me. You got New England Patriots trying to Chicago take on the Bears. The Bears. I'm taking the Patriots on the spread. Now, I got it at +7. I would still play that 6.5. There are some things I want people to be aware of. Caleb Williams he had an ankle injury and still played, so I don't know how bad and severe it's going to be. Drake May, even though he's a rookie, that's cool, but hell, the guy still played a pretty good game against the Titans, if you ask me, even with the rookie mistakes, even with less weapons, he still was able to make that game a game because if you watch the whole game, he pretty much the reason why they were even able to even get the scores that they were getting. And the Bears, we don't know, right? The injuries, we didn't expect Sweat to not play. You have to wonder if he is going to play. This offensive line also for the Bears isn't the best. So was the Patriots, but I mean, this is why you're saying 7.6, 6.5 point underdog. I at least see a 3 point win, a 6 point win if the Bears win it. Next game, you got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Give me the Bills at -4.5. Yes, I'll take the Bills at -4.5. It's a borderline best bet for me. I know it's the fact that the Colts are. I don't really know. They're really a wild card team, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep in Washington them against the Vikings. When I saw them score that pick six, after that, I fell asleep. I ain't even gonna hold you up. So, I mean, you taking the better quarterback at this point with Josh Allen. Amari Cooper might not play. Keon Coleman might not play. So that is kind of a concern. But honestly, with the Bills, man, they can run the ball well. And I mean, as long as you got Josh Allen, there's always a chance to win the game because he does change games dynamically. So I'm going with the Bills 4.5. Borderline best bet. Borderline. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Duval to take on the Jaguars. Jaguars +4.5 point underdogs. Jags to cover, Vikings to win. This game's kind of remind me of the Packers game. It'll be one of those situations that Vikings not used to be in the type of territory, but they can either pretty much win the game or they may do a backdoor cover. It's kind of similar to how they did to the Colts, right? They were kind of in that game with the lead all game, and eventually they kind of closed it. It could be that way. And with the Jags, you have to wonder, is Peterson a hot seat? How hot is that seat getting? Because I think it's getting hotter and hotter, bro. Next game, you got the Denver Broncos traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs 8.5 point favorites. I got Chiefs to win, Broncos to cover. Divisional matchup, and already know how I say about the Chiefs. Look at what happened last night with Monday Night Football. They'll give you an opportunity to win the game if you can win the game, but at the end of the day, they still are the better team. I shouldn't have to really explain why, right? Next game, you got the Atlanta Falcons traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints 3.5 point underdogs. Now, I always have a theory. When the coach gets fired, the next week you go with the team that has that interim coach. I want to go Saints. I want to. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons to win and cover still because we had just got news that Marshawn Lattimore has got traded to Washington, and I do think that's a sign that they kind of gave up this year. That's pretty much at this point your best defensive player, and you got rid of him. You already got rid of Dennis Allen, so you're already ready to get ready for the offseason to see what you got to do with the last of the team, before you make decisions for the future. So I think at this point, you go with the Falcons to win and cover. Over under is 46.5. I will lean over, but then we just found out Olave is out with another concussion. So how bad would that Saints offense be without him? Because Olave is a great player at the end of the day. I do think he's a good receiver. So that's how I look at it. I think points will be scored on the Falcons side. I'm just a little iffy on the Saints side, to be honest with you. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucs. Bucs 5.5 point underdogs. I'm leaning towards the 49ers to win and cover. McCaffrey is supposed to be playing. Well, he's practicing, but if he's practicing, I'm expecting him to play this week. I know it's going to be a West Coast team traveling to the East Coast. And if you're the Bucs, man, we have to figure out is Evans. I don't think Evans or Godwin will be playing. You kind of have a feel how does I was kind of an emotional overtime loss that they did lose against Kansas City, so we have saw some competitiveness, but I at this point with San Francisco, bro, they had to desperately win this game. This is a desperate time for desperate measures, man, and they have to win this damn game, bro, because they're not the number one team in the NFC West. They're barely the number two team in the NFC West. So I'm just trying to tell you, this is pretty much all or nothing for the rest of this year for this team. They have to pretty much go all in they gotta pretty much win every game of the rest of the season to even be considered like a top two, top three team in the NFC at this point. Next game, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Washington Commanders. Commanders -3 point favorites. This is stirring up to be a best bet for me, bro. Give me Pittsburgh to win and cover. I think Pittsburgh wins this game outright. I know the Commanders have been playing good, and this is my theory in this game. With Pittsburgh having the better defense, I feel like long as Russell Wilson doesn't do nothing stupid, I feel like they can win the game. It'll be nasty, sure. Will it be, the prettiest game? No, but I mean that's how it is sometimes. I expect a game like this that Pittsburgh can win. You know, have Russ throw a couple screens here and there, have him run the ball. You pretty much set up Pittsburgh to do at least score three. Listen, Pittsburgh can score 3 point. They can score field goals all game and possibly still win the game because their defense is that good. And that's how I see it could happen with Washington, right? I like what Washington has been doing. Hey, I already said they got Marshawn Lattimore coming in, so that tells you I like what this direction this team is going. This team will be a playoff team. I just think this is a team that Pittsburgh, who Mike Tomlin he just shows up, man. It's good coaching. You just coming fresh off a bye week. You kind of already know what to expect with the Commanders from the last 2 weeks if you have film and been watching games. So I think they can come in and get the dub. So give me the Steelers and the upset. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans travel to the LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers 7.5 point underdogs. Well, correction. Chargers are 7.5 point favorites. Give me the Chargers to win and cover. If this hook goes down to 7 to 6.5, you can make this the best bet for me. This Chargers team has been blowing out teams by the margin when they win. And listen, Herbert has been playing great, even without the best receivers. He's been playing amazing. Jim Harbaugh has been coaching great games for this team. And with a Titans team that I honestly shouldn't have even won against the Patriots, that I did make a best bet on, I don't think they will show up in this game. Mason Rudolph is very limited. Offensive line is still very, iffy. So I mean, and they're playmakers, right? We don't know if Tajay Spears will be playing. We know Pollard had a great game, really showed up when it mattered. You handle those two players, I don't see how this team has a chance to win. Defensively, the Titans are okay, but I think with Justin Herbert, bro, it's going to be kind of similar to Jared Goff there, man. If Jared Goff was torching them, you think Herbert can't do that? Come on, now. This is and listen, by the way, I think that my win total prop for the Chargers is looking like it's definitely gonna hit. I got it at what was it, 8.5. I definitely see a 9 and 18. So expect a 6-3 record, and I think that's gonna happen. Next game, we got the New York Jets traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals minus 1.5 point favorites. Make this the best bet for me. I got the Jets to win and cover. Now the odds is a little iffy. This odds have been shifting. So I got the number at plus 100 on the money line Sunday night after the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock games. And last night Arizona and the Jets was at a pick'em. Now you got the Cardinals because it's at home being a slight favorite. But give me the Jets to win and cover. This is a game where I think they do win. Yes, I had the Cardinals to beat the Bears, but the Bears, let's be real, right? Rookie quarterback, don't really know how to really have a feel in the game. And with Aaron Rodgers, we know when he goes into Arizona, those have been some of his best games. You can argue that. Yes, it's the Jets. Yes, they're honestly, if they can win the next 3, 4 games, they're already in the playoff hunt again. Because that NFC, that AFC East besides Buffalo is pretty much wide open for #2 spot. So I think Aaron Rodgers does wake this team up. Devontae Adams is starting to get his groove back. And with the Cardinals, that's not really a pass rush for real for the Cardinals, for real, for real. So that's also how I kind of look at it. Now the Jets have to get more physical again, back on the defensive trenches. They've been a little, weary lately. Haven't been able to stop the run because James Conner is going to be coming towards you. We know Kyler Murray can run around and do what he has to do. So listen, McBride, they have weapons. Don't get it wrong, but I do think the Jets, with having Aaron Rodgers, a great run game against a team who really can't stop the pass and really can't defend it that well. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Jets on this one. I know it's at the desert, but so what? Next game, you got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Dallas Cowboys to take on the boys, of course. Eagles -7. I'll take the Eagles to win and cover, but I'll be cautious on the 7 because I don't know, is Cooper Rush going to be the quarterback for the Cowboys? And I remember Cooper Rush came in and won them what 3 out of 5 games when he started for Dak. So I would be kind of cautious in thinking that -7 is free money. Let's go ahead and tease that down. 6, 7 point teaser. Go ahead and tease that down on the parlay teaser and call it a day. Next game, you got the Detroit Lions traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Sunday night football. Texans 3.5 point underdogs. I think the best play in this game is probably going to be the under 49.5. I see both sides run the ball. Both sides. I mean, I do think I will take Houston more on a overall defense, right? Now, I know what people would say I'm still hating because my team lost. Well, Jordan Love did throw a dumbass interception, right? So we can explain how they got that one touchdown, right? We can clarify that. That was given to them, and that happens. That's part of the game. But I don't know, bro. It being a home game from Houston, they just lost to the Jets. I think everyone's gonna hop off the bandwagon and go to the Lions. And I think this is the right time when you might catch the Lions slipping. Them going on the road again, back-to-back road games. This being a prime time game too, so there's only center of attention. CJ Stroud has to prove himself. I already tell you guys about this secondary. Even when Jordan Love was still not doing the best, he was able to dish the rock when he could. And you could run the ball on this Lions team. we saw what Jacobs was able to do, so I can imagine what Mixon, the way he's been running this season, I expect it to be a real high, close scoring game. 48 and a half, I would lean under because I see it honestly being, damn, I mean, I honestly could see it being a 24-20 game. And that can be really either or because I think this will be another great game. And lastly, you got the Monday night football game. You have the Miami Dolphins traveling to LA to take on the Rams. Rams are 2.5 point favorites. Give me the Dolphins to win and cover. Shocker, I know, but it's kind of the same narrative with the Jets, right? That second place in the AFC East is wide open for a possibly playoff spot if you get hot. I still don't wonder who's going to check Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. We saw them struggle the Rams with Jackson Smith by himself, right? It wasn't even DK that was involved, and they struggled against Jackson Smith. That's just really how I look at it, right? They got a young defense. I like what Frisk can do. I like what Verse can do, but that's really about it on their team, right? The corners, younger guys, and that's like what I'm saying. At this point, I see mismatches on that one. And we know HE, Mozart, these guys can catch out the backfield. So I'll be going with Miami to win that Monday Night Football game. You guys pass the run around, like the content, man. I'm really on it about that because, like I said, we did 4-2 in the last 2 weeks. And I have a feeling that I've been shadow banned, bro, because like the views aren't really up that they used to be. I get it. Everyone got something going on, blah, blah, blah. You may not even want to hear and see me, but I am available on all platforms. Whether get your podcasting, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all of that, right? Expect best bets on NFL on the YouTube Shorts and TikTok. That has been the best way to go, and it has been working out very well. But as usual, though, if you guys wanted to see any other game, you can click on the timestamps and we can call it a day. Just like the content, doesn't take nothing but half a second to do. All right. As always, guys, let's get this money out here and let's be safe, y'all.